It's another episode of Temp Coffee Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keri Elliott.
And I'm the other guy, Tim Howard. How is everybody today?
Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2022.
Yay, good time for a new year. All right, so I get to start the new year with an apology.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we are proving the fact that our listeners actually know more than we do. I want to give credit and admit that I made a mistake. The actual qualifying numbers for ratings for specialty coffee start at 80 by the Specialty Coffee Association. And we want to give them some credit because I said 84 and I was incorrect. So I apologize for my mistake. And please keep calling us out because clearly we can use more information. And we like the interaction with.
Sometimes we're human. We make errors. So, shame, Tim, shame.
All right, yeah, don't slap me again, though. Okay?
Okay.
All right, not today.
Not the left cheek?
No. The right cheek still hurts. It's okay. It still hurts. Well, I am super excited about this week's subject. Keri, go for it.
Well, we wanted to do something fun and when we were thinking about topics for a podcast. And by the way, I want to let you guys in on a secret here. We are going to be having some guest hosts coming on the show pretty soon here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, that's exciting. By the way, I think we should keep it a secret.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to keep this a surprise for you guys.
All right.
I have to say, if you guys are interested in hearing about the guests that are coming on to our show, you got to subscribe to the show. Keep tuned in every time we upload an episode, every Wednesday. Listen to the show, check out what we have. So we really appreciate you guys listening in, subscribing to our show. And if you also have a moment, I just want to say, please rate the show. Comment and let us know how the show is doing because it would really, really help us out.
We actually do like the feedback, and it's okay for us to be wrong. We don't mind being wrong.
We're human.
We're human.
Yes. Okay, so we wanted to do something really fun today. And on today's podcast, we're going to talk about just random coffee facts.
According to Google and everything else attached. But I'll tell you what, I think the coolest fact of the day has got to go to the fact you found. Go ahead. Please share that.
I am the type of person that goes on TikTok and looks at the videos on my For You page for hours and hours. I am guilty of that. I will lay in bed and scroll through. Well, one of those videos I have found was talking about Gustav III. And let me tell you about Gustav III. And I have found this information through Wikipedia, so it is actual information that you can go ahead and Google. Really interesting stuff. So Gustav III of Sweden, he was a monarch of some sort, right? Coffee first arrived in Sweden around 1674. They didn't really do much with it until the 18th century. They did an experiment, right? And so the experiment, they weren't sure about what was happening with coffee. They didn't know the effects of it. So they decided to do an experiment. Okay, so going back to Gustav III, the king ordered the experiment to be conducted. So we're talking about the experiment of what does coffee do to somebody. The king ordered the experiment to be conducted using two identical twins. Both of the twins have tried for crimes that they have committed and condemned to death. Their sentences were commuted to life imprisonment on the condition that one of the twins drinks 3 pots of coffee and the other drinks the same amount of tea every day for the rest of their lives. So they had 2 physicians were appointed to supervise the experiment and report its findings to the king. Well, unfortunately, both doctors died, presumably of natural causes, before the experiment was completed. Gustav III, he was assassinated in 1792 and also died before seeing the final results. Of the twins, the tea drinker was the first to die at age 83. It is unknown when the coffee drinker died. Based on what this Wikipedia page says, it sounds like the coffee drinker life expectancy was, extended more than their twin, the tea drinker. So some interesting fact like that Sweden did.
I love that. Let's face it, right? Coffee not only tastes good, but it makes us all feel better. I have one for you about that. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, the oldest cat ever to live, at least 38 years old. Now, that's amazing. But
wait, hold up, back up. You saying this cat, this meow meow cat,
yes,
38 years old by drinking coffee?
Every single day.
Every day?
Every day this cat drank coffee.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so let me
How?
let me share the information. I originally saw this in an article by deathbycoffee.net. You're welcome to look it up, and it's under the 30 fun facts about coffee. This is number 16, and it says the Guinness World Record for the oldest cat ever is 38-year-old cat named Cream Puff. He drank coffee every morning her entire life. That's a quote. We're quoting directly from the article. How about that?
I wonder if she's still around or...
I don't know. The picture looks pretty healthy, but 38 years old.
I mean, cats have 9 lives, right?
Man, that cat could be like 400 years old.
For all we know.
Who knows?
Did they say what year that was written?
You know what? It didn't clarify in the article, but it was also mentioned a couple of other times in other information articles, fun facts. So if you want to clarify that story, please look it up. Google is great that way. Look under fun facts about coffee. All right. So, Keri, what do you got? What's your next one?
Okay. You know, I have a pet peeve.
Okay.
About spelling stuff. Now, I'm not the greatest speller ever, but as a coffee professional, espresso is spelled with an S. So ESPRESSO. It is not EXPRESSO. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like X-Force from Deadpool.
Yeah, X-Force. I wish you guys had it. I wish we would have recorded a video that Tim and I made an X with our arms, and we did. Well, let's do it one more time.
X-Force. Oh boy. Man.
I mean that espresso is spelled with an S, not an X. I saw someone write something to me with an X in it, and my eye kind of twitched a little bit.
Oh, boy.
And nothing, maybe they didn't know and probably they didn't spell check, but just letting everybody know.
It's an S.
It's an S, not an X.
Oh, man.
One more time. X-Force.
Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, man. Well, let's hear for that. The spelling. Clearly, you need to drink more coffee, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to come up with one of my favorites. There was a statement given in the same article, and I get to correct somebody now, talking about the most expensive coffee in the world being Kopi Luwak. Now, if you don't know what Kopi Luwak is, it is a coffee that is digested and pooped out by a ferret, basically, or elephants, which is really awful because I'd hate to be the guy digging those beans out. That would be awful. But this article is not correct because the most expensive coffee in the world, clearly written after this article was made, was from Panama. Panama Esmeralda Gesha, a very rare coffee, quite good, by the way, but super expensive, almost 3 times what they're listing Kopi Luwak as. Pretty special coffee.
It's special, but I don't approve of the practices that they treat the ferrets, the animals who have to go through that. I don't find anything special about coffee-coated poo beans whatsoever. I would not sell to my customers, and it's not ethical.
I can't even imagine drinking it, to be honest. I've had a lot of coffee from a lot of places.
I really don't want to drink a cup of shit.
No, me either, honestly. Like, that's just gross.
It's disgusting.
All right, let's lighten this up. Give us your next one. What's your next fun?
Okay, so the next one I have is that goats founded coffee.
Oh, I was wondering about that.
Goats were the ones who found coffee beans. Now, this was back in Ethiopia. This was way back, I want to say around the 15th century, that in Ethiopia, there were a lot of goats that were buzzed up, and the goat farmers were just like, well, what the hell's going on with my goats? They're all jazzed up. You know, they're like, meh, meh. Yeah, that sounded more like a lamb. Like, and the goat farmer's like, what is going on with my goats, man? They're tripping out. And soon the farmer realized that this tree that they have, which is the coffee tree, had a bean inside, which is the seed of the cherry that made coffee. And somehow they figured out, well, if we roasted these seeds, like, we can grind it up and we can make coffee out of it.
Thank God for people actually thinking, hey, maybe we should light this on fire and then put it in and grind it into a fine thing and put water in it.
Yeah.
Like, thank God for those people, right?
Yes. And also the cherry part of the coffee is called cascara. And so the cascara, you can actually use that as tea out of it. Starbucks years ago had a syrup called cascara. It was a cascara syrup. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Well, you know, I've had a really good coffee cherry tea, cascara. I've had a good one. It came from Bolivia, and I tried it at a shop in San Francisco when I was living down there. It was really, really good. So, I mean, if you want a little extra caffeine on your caffeine, that might be a good way to go. Right?
I haven't had cascara tea for say. I just had it in the syrup form. But one of these days I have to have a cascara tea.
Okay, I might be able to help with that.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Ooh, cascara.
Ooh, just saying, maybe. All right. Can I give you one?
Yeah.
All right. In all honesty, this did not surprise me. In the 16th century in Constantinople, it was grounds for divorce if a man could not supply enough coffee for his wife. How about that?
What?
Yeah, so in Constantinople, if you got married, it was written in that the man had to provide coffee for his wife or they could be divorced.
Oh, my.
I mean it. Like that's actually a thing.
You know, I wonder if the wives ever consumed the coffee. Probably not, because they had a supply for their husbands, right?
Well, that's not what the implication is here. I'm just saying it right now. Like that's telling me that they wanted the wives awake and they were supplying them with coffee.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but
Right.
they also have to preserve enough for their husbands to have the coffee. I'm sure they kind of sneaked in a little sip here and there, get a little pep in their step, and, provide it.
I don't know. Women are pretty groundbreaking in our world, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm just saying. Yeah, that's words of a feminist, y'all.
Who runs the world? Girls. Beyonce, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Queen Bee, right? Right?
That's right.
That's right. Okay. All right, give me yours. What's your next one?
Man. So another one is talking about the first coffee house that opened in 1654 in Oxford, England. And get this, it is still in operations as of today.
No, really?
It is.
Well,
That's
wow.
another Wikipedia source here.
Oh, man. Well, see, there you go. God bless Wiki.
Yes.
God bless Wiki. Okay, so I have one that I had actually heard a number of years ago that came in 2017. It was talking about a study that was done between University of Coventry and Harvard Medical that tested heavy coffee drinkers who drank 6+ cups a day of coffee.
Okay, that's intense.
That's a lot of coffee, right? That even pushes my limits. What they found after a 20-year study is that people who drank more than 6 cups of coffee a day actually lived 6.5 years longer. And it didn't matter whether it was caffeinated or decaf. How about that? Look that one up, y'all.
Seriously. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So another thing that was brought up that I wanted to bring light to was that you get more caffeine from espresso than you do with drip coffee. No. Okay. So here's the breakdown. Coffee expert here. Ring-a-ding-ding. When it comes to espresso and drip coffee, the volume makes a huge difference. When you're tasting espresso, you're tasting a different extraction that is happening during the brewing process. And what's happening with espresso is that you're getting a smaller amount of coffee that's more concentrated, because essentially the espresso machine itself is putting pressure and pushing water through the coffee grounds into the portafilter and into, a cup for your coffee. So it may taste stronger. It might have more acidity, what have you, but it doesn't really translate into having a stronger caffeine content. Drip coffee, however, you have more volume when it comes to your brew ratio. It comes in with your water ratio, and you're going to get more caffeine into a 16-ounce cup of coffee, or even a 12-ounce cup of coffee, to be honest. A 12-ounce cup of coffee that's completely filled up compared to a 2-ounce shot of espresso, you're going to get more caffeine out of a black brewed coffee.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And I am here to promise you that after you drink 4 of those 12-ounce cups, that you will be shaking.
You will be shaking, yes. Absolutely. So the equivalent of, let's say you take 4 shots of espresso, we break that down. So let's see, we're talking about 2 ounces per shot.
No, it's about 80 milligrams. And if you're drinking, if you do, I think the correct comparison is about 200 milligrams in a 12-ounce cup. And I think it's about 80 milligrams in a 2-ounce shot.
Yeah, so you are definitely like doubling or close to tripling that amount of caffeine when you're doing just a drip coffee versus shots of espresso.
Hey, y'all, see? Black coffee is the answer to everything.
When I used to work at Schmerks many years ago, I would have customers come in and they'd be like, their veins are popping out and their eyes are all big and bloodshot, and they're like, yeah, man, let me go ahead and get a 6-shot espresso over ice with a little bit of milk. And I'm like, okay, well, the money that you're spending on 6 shots of espresso would be equivalent to medium-sized cup of coffee, and you're getting twice the caffeine than you are getting the 6 shots, dude.
Well, you can't cure knowledge or the lack thereof unless you can tell them the actual info.
That's
deep.
It is. It's very, very deep.
Okay, so I have an amazing number. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
2.25 billion. That's with a B. That is the number of cups of coffee that are consumed in the world every single day. 2.25 billion cups of coffee. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
That is amazing. That's really, really awesome.
All right, so I'm going to give you a fact that I did not know until today. I did not know that.
You're today years old to find out this fact.
I'm today years old. Yeah, this fact today. Okay, the world's first webcam watched a coffee pot. I am not kidding. Though it was hardly what one might. I'm reading this, by the way, from an article in mentalfloss.com. One might describe as an action-packed webcam. It allowed researchers at Cambridge to monitor the coffee situation in a Trojan room without ever leaving their desks. Now, I think that's pretty interesting because that's what webcams were at the time. I had no idea that the first webcam was actually a coffee pot. I found that incredibly interesting.
That is definitely really interesting. Here's a fact I found on inc.com, inc.com, is that New Yorkers like iced coffee more than Chicagoans and Angelinos.
Really?
Yeah. So a McCafe coffee shop recently surveyed 1,000 Americans on coffee drinking habits. New Yorkers, when asked how much they paid for the last cup of iced coffee available in the city on a hot day, bid the price up to $33.
What?
Yeah. Coffee drinkers in Chicago and Los Angeles were only willing to pay a measly $20. I don't know about Cleveland, but I guess maybe $7.95?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, gosh. Hey, to the friends we have in Cleveland, don't worry. We can send you more really good coffee. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm going to throw one more at you.
All right, go ahead.
Coming from Inc.com.
All right, go ahead. Hit me.
Did you know that people have been roasting coffee beans for 1,000 years?
Really?
Yeah. Archaeologists in Dubai area recently discovered coffee beans in a strata dating from the beginning of the 12th century. However, there's evidence that the beans were imported from Yemen, which would push back the date of roasting at least 100 years.
Wow.
The beans were preserved because they were carbonized by roasting, and though they were no complete beans, enough survived to definitely identify them as an Arabica variety, which makes sense considering both Dubai and Yemen are on the Arabian Peninsula.
Ah, okay. All right. So can I give you the one? Can you want to finish on one more?
Okay, I'll do one more.
All right. So I have one more and I'm giving it up. Ready? So I did not know this. Instant coffee has been around for nearly 250 years. I'm getting this from Mental Floss as well. 250 years, and honestly, instant coffee still sucks. All right, hit me your last one, Keri.
Okay, you know how you were talking about the cat that was drinking coffee for 38 years? And,
Yeah.
Okay, so again, this is the last one from Inc.com that says, dogs can drink coffee, but cats shouldn't.
What?
Yeah. Caffeine. Okay, so caffeine can be lethal to dogs, but only if they drink 150 milligrams per kilogram, so 2.2 pounds of their weight. So the average dog, maybe around 40 pounds, could down a cup of coffee, 100 milligrams, without taking any damage. Cats, however, are far more sensitive to caffeine, and even trace amounts can damage their nervous system.
What? So wait a minute. The cat that lasted 38 years was drinking coffee every day, but Inc. says coffee is bad for cats? I'm confused.
This is why getting information on the internet is just so...
Oh, man.
Google.
Oh, God bless Google.
We're just having fun, just spitting out some random facts about coffee and, having a ball with it. But, the stuff that you find on Google is so interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to give some shouts. Can we do that?
Yes, give some shouts.
All right. So first, I want to say a gigantic thank you to Brandon, the person in charge of Primo coffee roasting equipment. In case you guys haven't been watching my social media, we have a machine that is getting installed, being soon, and we were able to put big pictures out there. So a gigantic thank you to Brandon. Brandon, thank you very much.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Drop Temp's Instagram page or Facebook, you got to see it because Tim's driving a forklift. I had a document. You know how they say take a picture, it lasts longer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to take some pictures because I will hold that and preserve that. And now it's on the internet to show people that Tim Howard was driving a forklift.
Oh, God.
Oh, you need to tell people the story about how you went to the rental place and you drove it into our unit. So for you guys who don't know, real quick, we're in a business park. Across the street from the business park, there is this Sundial Roast or
it's Sun
River,
Sunrise
Rentals,
Sunbelt Rentals. Okay, so I actually went in the middle of a rainy day and went to Sunbelt Rentals. By the way, we'll give a shout to Sunbelt. They were helpful, gave instruction, and allowed me to go in and do something I've always wanted to do and was always scared of. So I went in and hopped onto a forklift, drove it across the street and down the way, and ended up going in and lifting our new roaster and putting it into place. By the way, geometry was in full effect because I couldn't figure out exactly how to get it there, but we got into place somehow. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, man. Imagine Tim just like driving a forklift down the road and just like honking and like, beep, beep, hey, y'all. Well, I don't know how Tim's Southern accent is, but Well,
Well,
well, you get the point. But it was fun. Go ahead and check the website. You could see, pictures of Tim, and it was great.
all right. So I want to let everybody know that we are accepting people to be sponsors of our podcast.
Yeah, we are. Absolutely. If you guys wanted to email us at hello@droptemp.coffee. That is our official email. And of course, we'll put that in the description. It's all over the website and in, social media. But we are accepting applications for sponsorships for the show, and that would really help us kind of cover costs pertaining for the show. So it's a great way to go out and promote your business and give shout outs to. So if you guys are interested, email us and let us know.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, without forgetting, Miss Emily Smith. We want to give some love to Emily.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Emily Smith at Mercon Coffee. Emily, we didn't forget you.
Emily, we didn't forget you. We love you.
We love you, Emily.
We're giving big hugs to you.
Yeah, air hugs from a distance. That's
yes, and I hope you hear this podcast.
Yeah, if you don't listen to the podcast, shame on you.
We love you. You are awesome, and thank you for providing us with awesome green coffee that's ethically sourced. Any other shout-outs from you, Tim?
I just want everybody to have a really good New Year. This last year has been weird. We've had a bunch of weirdness going on in the world. I'm pretty done with weird. I'm done.
I'm done with dumpster fires.
Yeah, dumpster fires can go away now. What I'm going to promise, though, is we're going to bring you some really cool new coffee. There's new coffee coming.
I'm really excited. Yeah, you told me about the new coffee that's coming. It's coffee that you've been wanting to source for the longest time.
Yep, I haven't been able. I'm going to keep it a secret.
Okay, I'm not telling.
All right, we're not telling.
Sealed.
Yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to say a quick goodbye to everybody. Thank you all for listening. And again...
Wait, what about my shout-outs?
Oh, no. Go. Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. Who are my shout-outs? Well, to let you guys know, I was actually invited onto a podcast called Roast West Coast. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, yes. And it's going to be really... exciting. So Ryan is the host of the show, and I've been kind of lurking at their podcast for a while. For you guys who don't know much about the show, what I can tell you is at Roast West Coast, they've been doing a ton of interviews with a lot of cafe owners, a lot of roasters in the California area, and they're going to invite me onto the show, and we're going to talk about coffee. And from my understanding, I'll be one of the first Oregon roasters onto the show, which I'm really excited about.
Congratulations. That's very nice.
Yeah, I'm really, really stoked about that. So if you haven't subscribed to Roast West Coast, go ahead and check it out. Subscribe to the show so you get notifications of when our episode airs. So really looking forward to that. So Ryan, shout out to you. Really appreciate it. Great podcast show to you. I also wanted to give a shout out to my friend Mel, and she is my bookkeeper / BFF.
Yeah.
One of my BFFs. I have many BFFs, right?
She's a great bookkeeper, though.
She is. She's really great. And she's also a great friend of mine. There's been times this year where I've just cried and I'm happy, and she's been there for me like you have, and Noreen and everybody else. But Mel, her and I we just mesh so well. We're like peanut butter and jelly, and I really appreciate her as a friend, and for her to work on my books at the end of the year. So find yourself a good bookkeeper if you're a owner-operator of a coffee roasting business.
Yeah, for sure. Let's mention Noreen. Just a quick thank you. Noreen owns Alice, our big current main roaster, and we want to thank Noreen for keeping the machine up and running. Thank you, Noreen.
Noreen is one of our good friends. She co-shares the space with us at Drop Temp. Shout out to Noreen. She's an amazing human being. She's really passionate about coffee. You could totally tell.
Yep.
When she makes a really killer blend, she nails it on the head.
Yeah, I know. She's a kind of person that waits to put a coffee out until it's absolutely right. She sets a great example.
Yes, absolutely. So shout out to Noreen from Capital Press Coffee.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. Please remember to subscribe to the show, rate the show. All you have to do is click a 5-star, tell us how the show is. We really appreciate it. Share with all your friends and family. And again, if you're interested in sponsorship for the show, please feel free to email us. We'll give a shout out to your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, we actually do read those.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Even though we operate our own roasting companies, we actually read the emails.
Yes, we do. And that's why we can't apologize for screwing up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Until the next episode, guys, have a great day.